Good afternoon for most of you, midday, whatever it is, good morning for us. So happy to see all of you, and thanks for the introduction. That was fun. We have another computer over here that's going off, so Josh is just going to go turn it off so we can't hear ourselves echoing in the background, and so you can't either. Have fun. But before we begin anything, do you mind if we scan you guys? We're just scanning right now, just let you know. All right, and let's walk up to the creator of all that is. Everybody close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and gather all the energy from the bottoms of your feet. Go through your space. See yourself in a beautiful ball of light. It can be any color, but take it up to the sky and the universe. A series of white lights, dark lights, and golden lights. All the way up through that jelly-like substance and into that tingly white light. Let unconditional love fill every cell of your body, all the way down to your toes. Once you're there, say, Creator, thank you for my life. Take a deep breath in and open your eyes.
I think we should start by going on a quick journey.
Okay, all right.
All right.
This is fun. What's the journey?
So, our journey, when we kind of created Algorithm Review, it Algorithm Review started because we were sitting on a group of people that run a very, very, very large business.
Mm.
And they said that theta healing was a little too wooey.
It was a little too metaphysical for them in this area, and so they weren't quite sure whether or not they could explain it to anybody else or even be a part of that quite in their community. So how could they be a part of it if it wasn't mainstream?
So this got me thinking, and it got my undercurrent going a little bit because to me, theta healing has always been my life. It's just a part of life, and to me, I see how everybody has all the tools of theta healing, and they use them whether they're aware of it or not. Okay,
So true.
we use everything, and when somebody was like, "It doesn't really apply to everybody," my brain got that motivation, and then we came home, and I was talking with a friend who had read the book and told me the same thing, and then I sort of started explaining that he was wrong. He was a friend. I could tell him. I could say, "Hey, you're wrong, man. You are totally wrong. Let me break this down for you." So I started breaking it down for him, and we started talking about how much the body processes. Because Raena, we say it every class, right? Um, I like information. I like reading information. I like perspectives. I like studies. I love more and more studies. I just like reading. So as I'm reading these different studies, I know a lot. So I start saying, "Hey, let me tell you about the human body." I say, "Let me break it down. We process this much information. This much is your conscious. This much is your subconscious. Your subconscious is running the show." And we start breaking it down. We start talking about how it is just like a computer. In fact, the human body and the things that we can do, if we try to translate it straight across,
You can't, because we are quite amazing at what we can do in just one of our cells.
yeah, they want what our cells can store. They would love to have what we can process as far as data per second. Like, we are magnificent, and we're creating with it all the time. So we started breaking it down, and then we started applying it in all these different places. The first place we started to apply it was in athletics.
With a bunch of youth, which was a lot of fun, and it ended up working out really well because they understood it really easily, because the algorithm review has to do a lot with emotions.
And at that point in time, we were still under keeping it just one thing. And then my mother came up and said, "You have something that's different, a different trademark." And we didn't think so first because we're basically explaining the beginning parts of theta healing.
Yeah.
But turns out, yeah, we did. They approved the trademarks, and we ended up doing and working together, and we work next door with each other. But the whole thing is designed to help people understand why your energetic self is so important. why connecting to yourself is so important, what you were put here to do. So after we got done with the athletic class, we got the patents, the bank called. Our bank, one of our favorite relationships that we work with quite regularly, and we're working with again on several things, called up and said,
will you please come and work with all of our people because we want to integrate what it is that you're doing to help them understand themselves a little bit better so that we can work as a team.
we had one goal that day, and that goal was to show them how to work as a team. So we showed up that day and we talked for a little while about how to work as a team.
Mm-hmm. We basically taught them discover your algorithm.
Yeah, and he said that was nice and wonderful, and he asked us to come back.
Teach us a little bit more pertaining to business.
He wanted to know and teach his people because his biggest problem was everyone didn't understand how important their interactions were with a customer. Okay, it's a smaller bank, has one branch. He built it. He loves it. But every single person that comes in there, they have a chance to make an impact, and their lives were kind of spilling over. So he said, we need to show them how important everything that they do is.
And so the algorithm view business basically does that. It helps people to understand what impact they have in business, not only working with teams and what it is that our energy does with other people, what it does, in a group situation, how our emotions and how we problem solve can reflect onto other people.
So our goal, and there are 8 modules to this thing, and yes. we've done one, and we're getting ready to do the second one. Our goal is to make it so that people can come and take the first part and then be certified to be an instructor, but we call it a little different. It's still instructor, but it's also we're coming up with a better name. Okay. Because you can go into businesses and teach businesses how to use algorithm. And we have all these tools that are coming to help businesses understand and let people develop and connect to themselves. But from a leadership standpoint, any leadership standpoint in life, the important thing to know is you got to know yourself well enough to know what's you and what's not you. And a lot of businesses, a lot of people, a lot of coaches, a lot of teachers all over the world, the biggest roadblock they run into is in situations, they try to turn it into, I've been through this situation,
so you should too. And they try to validate themselves in the way that they have done business or they were a coach, rather than recognizing the people in the team or in their players or that they're coaching as individuals and how they each have their own emotions, how they problem solve, how they're totally unique to themselves, how they definitely have all these things, these layers, the core beliefs, all the things from their ancestors, all the things that come that are totally different from their life than we do.
So there's a couple of hundred of you here right now. And of those couple hundred of you, you're all different. Each and every one of you has a totally different lens of perspective and experience. And our job right now is to go up, connect, find the words to keep and see and connect as much to all of you for a moment to help in your life as possible. Same thing in business. If you have 20 employees, your job is not only to make sure they're taken care of, but to see their perspective and set them up for successes. And a lot of people in this world are setting people up for failures. You can succeed if they're similar. You can succeed if they exhibit the same traits.
Sure, if you're attracting people that are just like you. But if you're not attracting and you're having, to get other people that have different mindsets, like someone that's an accountant or an attorney, or some of those people don't always think about the metaphysical side, or even in a health and wellness mindset industry, they're so very different that it may be very challenging if you don't know how to connect and talk to them on a different level. When we went to go to do it at the bank, knowing how to speak bank alone is completely different than us talking to you here in this group.
So as we kind of developed this and we came along and understood it, we knew we were always teaching the beginning part of understanding yourself, the beginning part of connecting to yourself. We didn't know that we were also peeling back deeper layers of how to understand yourself at the same time.
Which is so cool.
So everything that we do is sort of moved in different vibrations, and it lets you take a look at yourself and really see yourself in all these different environments too. A great example right now, wherever you're sitting, if we say, uh, pick up, just pick up something, anything in the room, pick it up.
You guys all have a phone. Pick up the phone
You'll see Raina went to phone right away.
because we all know that you have one of those. That's really easy. It's always sitting next to us, most generally.
But we didn't know you all had one, and some of you didn't, right? Some of you looked around the room, heard the first command. Some of you looked around the room and heard the second command. And already we created more confusion than direction. Okay, the little first class of algorithm, discover your algorithm, and then into the second ones or the other classes that we talk about, the business modules. What we're teaching is what your cells are hearing, how to identify what you're communicating all the time. And then as a teacher, we're teaching you how to use that information to see what other people are communicating. Know yourself so well to know what you're saying, to know what they're doing, how they're moving, what's their primary motion, what's going on. Because a moment like pick up something or pick up your cell phone, you just got two different commands. And your brain heard them from two different voices.
Mm-hmm.
Which means it's searching through all the experience of you. And it's going, okay, well, this is my experience with this type of tone and this type of area. And this is this type of energy. And this is this type of energy. What should I do? And while it's doing that in a business setting, even in a personal setting, the pressure increases, right? We had this conversation just the other day with our oldest child. And he was trying to say he's so overwhelmed by the pressures of different things in life that he doesn't know when they're going to stop. And I said, oh, I know that answer. It's the same answer as belief work. It never stops. It never stops. What happens is the tools change. You get comfortable. You know how to deal with something.
You understand yourself a little bit more. You're understanding the things that are going on and the people that are around you, and you're able to communicate with them so much clearer and so much easier so that you guys can communicate back and forth with each other.
The clear line between a leader and a follower is the leader knows that the never stops and they keep seeking the pressure and seeking ways to find it. And a follower wants it solved for them. And there's nothing wrong with either. There's nothing wrong with either. There are moments to be a follower and moments to be a leader. But if you don't want the extra pressure of certain things, then in that moment, you don't want to be the one solving it. You're not the leader of that.
And
let someone else be.
That's the best part about Algorithm of You Business, because it helps you to really recognize what part you want to play, where you fit, how you fit, what you're really good at, so that you're able to recognize yourself, and then the teams that you're in, the people that you're attracting, the business that you're in. We all are in our own business, a lot of people in this group that I know and see. Not everybody here, but
the number one reason businesses fail has nothing to do with money, nothing to do with niche products, nothing to do with any of that fancy stuff that you maybe see on your Instagram or we're going to fix it. Those are all ways to try to move the pressure and tell you that they have an answer for something. The number one failure is people being able to step outside of themselves. Business owners relinquishing communication, relinquishing parts of their business. It is the number one distractor because it belongs to them, because they know how to do it, because they've created a place or a position that they believe it should be done a very specific way. So business owners as a whole have a tendency to take on all their jobs because they don't trust. They don't trust the people around them. They don't trust that what they're communicating to the people around them is going to work. So in a couple hours, we're actually going next door and teaching the same class to Mom and Matthias.
Yay.
I don't know what she has in store for it. She has something in store because she asked us to come teach it to her. We'll find out this afternoon, and I'm sure we'll let you guys know as soon as we do. But we do still work together. And this has always been something she talked about being important too, because we can take it into businesses. We can take it into places where we can teach people the importance of what their cells are doing in every moment, how they're creating, what they're hearing, what the impact is. And the truth is, you've been impactful in every moment of your life. Your cells have been there and they've been creating.
Actually, let's do a little exercise really quick. If you were to close your eyes really quick and you were to decide if you had one motto for yourself, what would it be? Once you've come up with that motto, I want you to decide what feelings you have wrapped around that motto. And then, are they yours? Is it somebody else's? Where did you get that motto? Did it just come out of thin air and you're like, I've always loved that. This is me. I've always loved. Just shine. Just shine, whatever it is. Or did you pick it up from somebody else, one of your ancestors, something that you heard from somebody else? And why? Why did you choose that one? Now that I've said that, what emotions do you feel about that?
It's an emotional moment.
It is an emotional moment. All of those are just designed to help you understand yourself better so that you can recognize the emotions that you have, the things that are going on within you. And the motto that you're sending out to people is a signature to help them recognize exactly who you are and what it is that you're representing every day within you.
So Raina picked a great word, emotions, and it's funny. When we go around, we start teaching discovery algorithms, we start teaching algorithms in business. We're at the bank, we talk about emotions. That first time, we're going around the room and we're saying, how many, I mean, roughly, how many emotions did you feel today, right? And the answer's
Five,
five,
10.
and
Yeah.
some of the participants thought the number was relatively high, and they were like, "Oh, I feel a lot. I feel like 50."
Mm-hmm.
And we smiled because every human vessel has a minimum of 450 unique chemical reactive emotions every day, a minimum. And what these are is they're signals. They're signals that are telling you the pressure that you feel from your environment. They're telling you what your cells have going on and how you're processing it. And they're literal gateways into what your computer is doing. Like when you open up Zoom and Zoom starts, that's what an emotion is. It's, oh, hey, I'm clicking this button and this program is opening for you to use in your life. And this is the lens that we're going to go through this experience. And this is what we're creating with. And we have all that information and we're taught to ignore it.
But sometimes we don't even recognize what our emotion is. Like you said, we suppress our emotions. We don't recognize it because we're taught to ignore it. And that's why a lot of us think, 50 was a good amount. We don't even recognize the 450 that are the minimum that we actually feel in a day's period.
So in that time, your body's doing natural belief work. Okay. It's feeling a pressure, it's answering a question, and it's deciding how to solve it. And it's doing it in the background. Your subconscious is running. The percentages are crazy. It's 4 billion pieces of information in your subconscious and 50 in your conscious brain. That means from
For a
those
second,
4 billion pieces of information, you're filtering the information and the data and telling it where to go.
that means you're filtering all the things that are going on, the lights, the air, everything that's going on right now, the way things feel, the way that things smell, everything that happens to be going on with your conscious brain, but everything in their subconscious is filtering it. How do I decide what I want is the most important right now?
Which is why it's called algorithm, because what an algorithm is a set of commands to sort and use data. That's the definition of the word. So when Instagram uses an algorithm, what they're taking is all the data and telling it to do something specific with it. Or when your chatbot is using all the data from all of its interactions, scanning through what you've done and feeding you a response, it's because it's told to from all that information. We do that naturally and from all our information. And our goal has always been to help people understand that we're always connecting and communicating energetically. We're always scanning around us. And we're always creating and manifesting. We're always kind of moving into these different moments and changing the lens from how we create and embracing it. So in our classes, in particular, the algorithm classes, the design is to allow people to develop that understanding themselves and then to start to take it different places. And with business, it's designed to make it so you can take it into businesses. So you can work with businesses, teaching their management how to recognize the employees' algorithms, teaching employees how to communicate those algorithms.
And to work with yourself and your teams in your own business, which is kind of a key thing because being able to attract the people that you want in your business really helps you to move forward in the success that you're manifesting anyway.
So that when you walk into a room, you can see what the pressure is that a person's moved from. And it doesn't take long. Your cells scan. But when you know the information that you're scanning and you can see and separate what's going on, you know, okay, this person's moving with emotions of frustration and they're using a whole bunch of backtracking algorithms. They're trying to get to the end of the conversation and build what they want. And that lets you know how to communicate to them. It lets you know how to reach them at a different level. Because each person has their own communication language. And if you want to reach more people, you want to help more people in business, you want to help more people in life, you got to cross those barriers to know who and how to communicate. So just a few of you that have had your cameras on right now, we would approach you all just differently.
Oh, yes.
Simply from scanning the moment and seeing your hearts. From go, we would have a different conversation with each of you to reach the same topic. Okay, we can see that Selene is over there taking notes like crazy. She wants information. So we would pour information into what she's taking notes to. We would keep that pencil so busy. So busy. Because that's what she wants. She's craving it, right? But not everybody's craving it. So what do you do when you're in a group of 200 people and you all have different cravings? Well, you scan their hearts and you trust the seventh plane, right? You trust an energy of love and you let it guide you to know that you can be a tool that reaches all of them. That's what we're working towards. And that's what we all do. We understand ourselves to the point that we can communicate, we can grow and impact different situations. So the classes have lots of layers to them, of course. There's designs to help you in your own business. There's designs to help you reach other businesses. There's designs to have you just teach the first part of the class, the first half.
And there's lots of exercises that help you really dive into understanding your own way that you do business. It's amazing. The things that you learn when you do those exercises, when we've done it, is quite amazing. It really just helps you understand the way that you problem solve, the way that you understand your emotions, and how you're perceived by other people in other groups that are in your classmates as well. So it's kind of fun. You get lots of feedback. You get to understand yourself really well.
Yeah, once you start to understand the world that you're in and how you're communicating to it, and you start to see the world other people are in and how they're communicating, you realize you fit. You fit. Yes. You were put here purposefully, chosen of your own energy and the time and place to be in this moment, to be you. And I know it's really simple. And the phrase that we get a lot when we start to go deeper is, this is both the simplest and most complicated thing in the world.
It's true. We hear that all the time about this.
Because the concept is extremely simple, but reaching the goal about what to do with it is a little more complicated. It's a lot more nuanced than understanding, right? So the goal is open up an understanding of yourself, know your impact in every moment, and know how to make it the way you want, how to create in your life, communicating with yourselves. But at the same time, knowing how to have that integrated with what this person wants and what that person wants. Because guess what? They fit. They all fit. Your energy, your desires, your hearts, they fit. The things you don't like to do, somebody likes to do.
For sure.
Even if it's just, I only want to work 8 hours a day and all I want to do is clean up garbage. One of my favorite inspiring people in the world, a Hall of Fame basketball player, was asked what his favorite job ever was. And he said, garbage man. He said it was his favorite job ever. And he still takes aspects of that job everywhere that he goes. And sometimes he wishes he'd have been a garbage man instead of a basketball player.
Probably because of the pressure that he feels just being a basketball player alone. You don't have so much pressure dealing with garbage. You just kind of go around, pick up the garbage, say hi to the neighbors, wave, and that's it.
Yeah, if a fence post was broken, he would go fix it. It was innate. It's in his character. It's what made him successful in whatever he ended up doing. He saw something, it needed adjustment. He adjusted it. But he would have chosen garbage man and been perfectly happy with it. In fact, he retired and basically just goes around and cleans stuff up. He likes it. It makes him feel happy. When we discover what makes us feel happy and we figure out that when you love what you do, you're not really working. I mean, we use the word work because people say, "What are you doing?" We say work.
But really, is it work if it's what you love to do? No, it's what you love to do. It's just part of you.
And so people are like, "You guys work 24 hours a day, 365 days a year."
Not if you
Yeah.
love what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, we do. We do. But that's only because that's the only word that describes to people what it is, right? If we say, "Oh, I'm just playing around with a business forum and I'm working on creating a whole bunch of extra spreadsheets just for fun," people look at you like, "Okay." But if you say it's work, they go, "Oh, I get it. I understand. It has to be done." So we use the word not because that's how we feel about it, but because that's how they'll understand what we're doing. And you're doing that all the time. Your audience is the most important language connection that you have. So think about your life. Think about the things that you're doing. Think about the energy behind what you're doing, man. And then whatever level you're on in that discovery, if you've already taken Discover Your Algorithm, or you're joining us for Algorithm of Business, or you're not doing anything, you just wanted the information today.
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you.
But embrace the fact that you're this magnificent creation and you're communicating. And then challenge yourself to see what you're communicating every moment, what your cells are saying. Because that subconscious that's running all that information and doing stuff, it's got a wireless transmitter.
And it's telling everything that you're not saying.
And in basic class in Theta Healing, what we're doing is we're giving you words to override your subconscious, to override those programs and create things instantly because they've already been created in a different way. So we give you an override. But really, behind the scenes, each layer that you peel back in Theta Healing and your growth of you as an energy is knowing that subconscious, knowing your truest self in every moment. What's coming in? What are you communicating? How are you communicating? And being perfectly aware of who you are and embracing it. Everything about you is perfect. Everything about you is beautiful. You have control to change things and move things. So I hope you guys start to enjoy your day. And thanks for joining us this morning as the sun starts to hit right now. It's telling us that we've been talking for a minute, and in a minute we're going to be blinded out entirely and you won't see our faces. So I hope you guys have a great and wonderful day. I really appreciate you spending your time with us and taking notes and smiling and nodding and sending hearts and
just being you,
thoughts.
really just being you, because we can feel it all. We appreciate you. It's always great to see you, and someone we haven't seen for so long, and we've missed you. So we hope you know that. Oh, that's so bright.
We do have a site. If you've ever taken Discover Your Algorithm, you can create an account on Algorithm Review, and we're starting to post our instructors on there. It is still very choppy in terms of its usage, but the instructor part is there. The dashboard's being worked on, and even the colors are changing. But pretty soon there'll be more classes posted there. Right now, the classes are not up there yet. They're still working on the database for class interaction.
They're working as fast as they can. May is our day, right? Come on, May.
May 6th and 7th. So we're doing a book launch. We're doing a Discover Your Algorithm in May.
Yep, for in LA, like the 7th or something. If you,
Yeah.
anybody wants to come to LA,
Supposedly it's going to be a great big party. You guys have an invite if you want to join us. Fly on up, hang out with us for a day. We would love to see you, or fly sideways a long ways.
yeah,
It's a long flight, short notice, but we are going to be online on the 19th and 20th too.
right, to do the module 1 and 2 of business, which will be really fun. Of course, all that stuff's online. So if you guys want to know more about it, you can find it out there. And we appreciate all the interpreters, of course, for finding all the words and for being here. That was so fun. We appreciate you.
And this is just a really cool beginning. There's so much fun stuff happening
So
over
much
the next
more.
few months. So hopefully you guys keep smiling.
Yes. And have a great and fabulous day. Thanks, everyone.